morning, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture to this day-long celebration of the 159th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda through classical music. And this has been happening here at the Vivekananda Hall for more than 3 decades today. We all know that Swami Vivekananda's vast knowledge of Eastern and Western culture, his deep spiritual insight, his fervid eloquence, the brilliant conversation that he used to make, and his broad human sympathy had made an irresistible appeal to everyone who came in close contact with. In the West, of course, Swamiji's mission was the interpretation of India's spiritual culture, especially in the great Vedantic setting. In his own motherland, of course, Swami Vivekananda is regarded as the patron saint of modern India, and he roused his countrymen to a new national consciousness. But seldom do we discuss or talk about his prowess in music and his love for music. We all know that his great master, Thakur Sri Ramakrishna, used to get into divine ecstasy when his favorite Narendranath, Naren, used to sing. In fact, it was his singing which basically brought them even closer together. To Swamiji, music was the highest art, and used to say that to those who understand, it is as good as worship. He said that this is the greatest aid to the practice of keeping God in memory. He was a trained musician. He studied with Ustad Ahmed Khan and Benny Gupta, two very well-known musicians. When he was a young man, he learned to play the pakhawaj from Murari Gupta in the Darbhanga tradition. And of course, in a short while, he became a very sought-after percussion instrument player and a vocalist of his times. He even composed a book of songs which is considered to be one of the very well-known treatises, an authoritative book called the Shongit Kalpaturu with Vaishnav Charan Boshak. In this connection, it is important to recollect a small story of Pandit Ramakrishna Bhua Baze of the Gwalior Gharana. Swami Vivekananda was staying in his ashram in Bareilly. Every morning he used to wake up and he used to sing and wake up the other ashramites in the Bareilly ashram, especially with Ahir Bhairav, which is a Tansen Drupad composition, to wake up all the other inmates of the ashram. So it is but natural that we celebrate the birthday of this great man through a day-long offering of classical music for all of you. But before we get into the concerts, may I request revered Swami Pujyapada Suparnananda Ji Maharaj, the Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, to come up here, say a few words, and declare the day's proceedings open.
Om Jananing Sharadang Deving Ramakrishnam Jagat Gurum Pada Padme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Murmu. So I welcome you all, dear listeners, and the performers. Today is the 12th January. Every year we celebrate this date in a very special way. Swami Vivekananda is the eternal youth whom Sri Ramakrishna used to call my Shukadev. Shukadev is born brahmachari, and Sri Ramakrishna accepted and respected Swamiji like that. We are proud to celebrate his birthday, or the National Youth Day as Government of India declared it, to commemorate his birthday that way. By organizing musical performances by the world-class artists, this year also we have invited several artists to perform their art. I welcome them. Pandit Uddhav Rao Sindre Abgaonkar, Pakhwad Solo Allah Rakha Kalabant Sarangi. Next, Pandit Narendranath Dhar with Pandit Parimal Chakraborty. Program Sarod recital with tabla. Next is the item to be presented by Ustad Wasim Ahmed Khan with Bibhas Sanghai, Sarwar Hussain and Gaurav Chatterjee. Program for them, vocal recital with tabla, sarangi and harmonium. And the fourth one, the last item, by Pandit Kushal Das and Kalyanujit Das with Pandit Anindra Chatterjee and his son Anubrata Chatterjee, Sita recital with tabla. I welcome all these artists and request them to perform with proper attention and reverence, because they should also remember that this date is designated by all of us as the awakening date. I won't say the national awakening date for each of us, because Swami Vivekananda made a religion or spiritual life very easy, and as you all know, he once stated heroically that those who worship the Lord, the deities in the temple, are religious, no doubt, but those who serve and worship men are divine. So we people, the ordinary people, ordinary men and women, can become gods and goddesses by serving people, knowing them to be the manifestation, various manifestations of the divine. So we are all the manifestations of the divine. We have human qualities, no doubt, But that does not mean that we are all human beings or we will remain human beings all our lives. No. We can show the greatness and grandness, the goodness in us simply by serving with proper attitude, reverence, faith, the people who are around us. Because the Lord Himself declared long ago in the Bhagavad Gita that I am present in all bodies as the supreme knower of the Kshetra or body. Kshetragyan chapimang vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So each individual has his own jivatma. Jivatman are many, but Paramatman is one. So in all Jivatman, I am present there. So the multiplicity of Jivatman is misnomer. It is not tenable. There is Paramatman and I, Vasudeva, Sri Krishna. I am that Paramatman. Sarva Kshetre, in all fields, in all bodies, know me to be the knower, supreme knower. So here is the rationale for worshipping each and every one as the manifestation of Godhead. And that's why we say that Swami has made the spiritual life so simple to follow, to start. If we are sincere enough to make our offerings, to offer our oblations at the feet of the Lord, we want to do that even by worshipping the living gods and goddesses. So that way, this is the National Awakening Day for all the inhabitants of the world. And finally, I want to make it understand by one and all present here, or all listening to these musical performances, that unlike other arts, music is not an exhibition. Other arts are for exhibition, but musical art, this is a revelation. There is a basic difference. Both the singers and the listeners grow simultaneously by listening to the musics and grow inwardly in what may be called greatness and goodness. We grow towards divinity. With these few observations, once again I welcome you all. Thank you. Namaste.